Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to recommend our videos to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have always maintained on this channel that God gave us a very good country. And it is upon ourselves to ensure that we have a policy that we must leave this country a better place than we found it. That is it. But it seems that our leaders, led by William Ruto, are hell-bent on ensuring that we destroy this country. Before you accuse me of being malicious, I want to mention this. There are two things that happened in this country that will shape the future of this country. And if you ask me, it will not be for the positive or for the good. Number one is the blatant public and daylight invasion of Uhuru's Northland farm. Uhuru Kenyatta is the immediate commander-in-chief, the immediate ex-commander-in-chief in this country. And when leaders persuaded other members of this country to go and invade his land, ostensibly because the Kenyatta family grabbed land, we did not know what we were doing. Because the Kenyatta family is a very senior family. If you allow people to invade their land and their farm, then what happens to the other common mwananchi, the ordinary mwananchi? So with that act alone, we left an indelible mark, and I don't think whether we will be able to rub it, and I will tell you why. Number two is the recent blatant declaration in public by the President of Kenya that he will disobey and disregard court orders, because according to him, those court orders are being used to sabotage his development agenda. Those two aspects will destroy this country. A few days ago, the Kapsaret member of parliament, Oscar Sudi, the controversial and the most outspoken member of parliament, led goons to invade a certain piece of land, about 20-acre piece of land that is controversial. There are about 5 families that are claiming ownership of that land. Now, this case has been in an Eldoret court, and it was ruled that one Mr. Kirwa is the putative owner of that land.
Tumepeana title yetu, hata ile receipt tumepeana iko kotini, hawachaleta yao. Leo mheshimiwa na wao na watu wengi wakaja, wamepomoa nyumba, wamechukua manyumba zenye zilikuwa kule, wamechukua vitu, mpaka hata na saisi hatujui ng'ombe zilikuwa kule, kuku. We had projects nyingi.
Despite that court declaration, that court order, that court ruling and verdict, Oscar Sudi led goons because according to him, the courts were wrong, and he, together with other people, invaded the land and they destroyed property. They took away animals. The owner, or rather in quotes that had been declared by the courts, watched in disbelief, despondently, because there's nothing he could do. And Oscar Sudi dared anyone who wants to go to court, anyone who wants or who feels that he disregarded the court orders, and he said any such person must face him because he doesn't care.
Kuna ukweli ukora kwa mahakama, na ni watu kutoka tribe moja ukifuatilia vizuri. Hii makesi yote ya Eldoret, we must do something. Hatuwezi kubali kuendelea hivyo. If there is anybody ako na question mark ama ako na tu sababu ama ako na nini, awachane na kila mtu anistake mimi.
And that is why I told you that those two occasions will determine the future of our country, because we have decided to take the law in our hands. That when we feel that the court does not rule in our favor, that we can easily go and invade someone's land. It happened to Uhuru Kenyatta, the founding father's family of this nation, Uhuru, that has got security. Then it means that your land is not safe. As an ordinary Kenyan, as an ordinary citizen, your land is never safe at all. I have always maintained on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, that if there is something that we are sitting on like a time bomb, is the land issue and what we call historical injustices. There is that Ndumu report that all the presidents, the successive governments have been sitting on. They don't want to open it, and sometimes I have a feeling that both the opposition leaders and the government leaders are in it, and they don't want this to be opened. Kibaki sat on it, Uhuru for 2 terms sat on it, William Ruto is in power, and he understands very well that we have a precarious situation, this land thing, this land issue, and he doesn't want to open it. The Kenya Kwanza team controls numbers in parliament. Kimani Chungwa, who has been very vocal, even calling for formation of a commission of inquiry to inquire into the conduct of Uhuru and how he used money and state capture. I'm wondering why they cannot move with speed. Someone should just bring a motion in parliament to compel the president to open the Ndumu report and the reports on historical land injustices. The more we sit on these reports, the more we are breeding anger and harboring malice in our hearts. And one day, it will be very bad. When you see such kind of symptoms, signs and symptoms, because people invading others' lands, the other time it was Kipchoge Keino, after Uhuru's farm. Some people just went to Kipchoge Keino's land and they decided to invade. It means there was a president, because do you know why it was done? Kimani Chungwa, who is the majority leader in the National Assembly, stood in front of people in daylight and warned that they would teach Uhuru a lesson, together with Kimani Chungwa and Rigathi Gachagua. When leaders speak, they are opinion shapers. They are Kenyans who feel that if this is the way to go, then why not? If a deputy president, a member of parliament, and majority leader in the National Assembly can decide that if someone stole land or grabbed land, then we can go and cut it into pieces, then why not? Tomorrow, a family will sit together and say, this land was sold to our neighbors, we were young, and the parents are dead, and they start invading people's land because they don't feel like the courts can give them justice. And our courts must up their game, because people have lost trust in our courts. I understand that there are some good judges, but there are other judges that are bad. And our Supreme Court had set a precedent that you can only rule in favor of the highest bidder or in favor of the authorities and the powers that be. And people don't have any faith in the courts. And this is also contributing to the malicious destruction of people's property. People will invade your farm, they vandalize, because they feel that if they go to court, they will not get justice. And I'm wondering, what is the thin line between trusting in the verdict of a court, even if you know that it is bad? Even if you know that the court has ruled and they're denying me my rights. Because the Constitution makes it very clear that you must obey. Oscar Sudi is saying that anyone who is questioning should face him. He is acting in disregard of our courts, because William Ruto had already said it, that our courts are being used to sabotage his agenda, that we have judges who are corrupt. And so Oscar Sudi could also be right, because the president has set a precedent, and it's a case study. If the president says the judges are corrupt, he's the one who appointed them. There were those judges that Uhuru Kenyatta did not want to appoint, because Uhuru had said that through the NIS intelligence report, he had been told that some judges had got questionable characters. But Ruto, seeing a loophole, campaigned with it and appointed the judges. Now he's crying foul that some people are using them, giving them money, and they are sabotaging his agenda. And all the other leaders moving forward will not obey court orders, I can assure you. It is going to be a theater of battle, supremacy battle. And Madam Kwame, who has got the mandate of protecting the courts or protecting the judges, has also joined the camp of succumbing to intimidation. And I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, that we are sitting on a time bomb, and if we are not careful, it is going to be the Sudi way, or the Kimani Chungwa way, or the Ruto way. Why should I go to court if the president has declared he will not obey court orders? Why should I go to court when Kimani Chungwa and Oscar Sudi have given me the way forward? I suspect you are sitting on my land, I invade it. Do we even care about the future of our country? Do we? Do we realize that whatever we do today will determine what happens to us tomorrow? When Kimani Chungwa was leading gangs into Uhuru's northern farm, he did not know that it was going to be the order of the day whenever people want to settle land disputes. When William Ruto declared recently that he will no longer obey court orders, he didn't know that Oscar Sudi and the likes will no longer adhere to court verdicts and rulings. And this is very bad, because it is going to be goons and goons and goons. It depends on who can get more goons than the other. And you still tell me that you're proud to be Kenyan. You still defend William Samoei Ruto and his government. You still have the guts of even going to social media and think that you're setting a good precedent even for your children. One day it will backfire, and it will be too late for us. They say regrets are grandchildren, they come later. Yani, majuto ni majukuu ya haja baadaye. And that is my take.